All right, can you hear me? Okay. So yeah, as long, well, so you can hear me, but it's going to be a little bit of a delay, I believe. But just tell me that you can hear me. I'll see if I can do something about this music. I didn't turn the mic on my controller. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. I just heard myself say I didn't turn the mic on. Okay. All sorts of weirdness. Bene. Yum. Hodie sumus Cytereae. Cytereae. We're in Cytherea. It is a very interesting island. Est insula est. Insula. Insula is a Latin word for an island. Et Cyterea est non magna insula parva insula. Parva means small. Quid est, Valentina? Oh, seek, erat Icaros. Icaros est nomen. That's the name of, in this case, Cassandra's eagle. Icaros est Aquila. Aquila is the eagle. Let me see about the sound real quick. I'm going to see if I can turn down the sound effects because I've got that fire in my ear. Bene. Yum. Cyterea. Hodie sumus in Cyterea, quia Cyterea est insula Veneris, et hodie est dies Veneris. So again, hodie est dies Veneris, et nos sumus Cytereae, insula Veneris. So what does it mean when I'm saying that Cytherea est insula Veneris? Yes, ma'am. Ooh, non city. Insula est the whole island.
Oh, the island.
See, it's Venus's island. Oh, mirabile. Oh, we're going the wrong way. All right. So, Cytherea erat insula Veneris. Et, I'm going to have to go during the day so we can see. It's a lot more impressive during the day. Multi homines ad Cytheream venerunt sic ecce canis. Multi homines ad Cytheream, to Cytherea, peregrinaverunt. That's a long word. Peregrinaverunt. Now, let me quickly, the one thing that I can't do very easily from here is write on the screen. So that's something that I really was hoping to be able to do with the share screen. That's a good point. All right, we're going to talk about this long word, peregrinatio. Everyone try saying that word. Man, it's peregrinatio, 6 syllables. And you see this in, there's actually a type of falcon called a peregrine falcon. You might have heard of that. It's one of the fastest animals in the world, super fast falcon. Peregrinatio is the word for now I am blanking on the word in English. Okay, so it's like a holy journey, a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage. So I would say something like peregrinationem fecerunt, to say that they made a pilgrimage. So multi homines peregrinationem ad Cytheream fecerunt. They used to, or they made, right? They made a pilgrimage, right? So we're going to see a lot of what I'll be referring to as peregrinatores. What do you think a peregrinator is? It's a type of person.
A priest?
Ooh, not a priest.
Holy person?
Not a holy person.
A baptized person?
So, let me show you the word here. Peregrinator. All right. So a peregrinatio is a pilgrimage. What would we call a person who goes on a pilgrimage?
A pilgrim?
Pilgrim. Haha. And again, we have this conception of that word pilgrim having, that historical significance to the pilgrims who came over from England and settled in America. But they did that in the context of a holy journey or pilgrimage. Now, in this case, we're seeing some peregrinatores here on Cytherea, but this is actually something we'll get to see lots more throughout this map. There are tons of holy sites in Greece that were pilgrimage sites, and this was one of them. So first off, I want to show you some aspects of the pilgrimage sites and the peregrinatores. All right. So, ecce sunt statuae et cuius est statua. Cuius est statua. Whose statue is this? Cuius statua. Sic Veneris on Aphrodite's. Aphrodite nomen Graece, Venus nomen Latine. Cuius statua est? est statua Veneris. Oh, ecce, quid Venus habet. Quid habet. Quid.
I think that is the.
It's difficile videre.
I think that's the golden apple.
Consentio. Puto esse malum, the word for apple, malum, M-A-L-U-M, et aureum means golden. Malum aureum. Iam, estatua non est aurea. This statue is not golden. Sometimes, though, we will see, and I think up at the main temple we'll see a version of the malum quod est aureum. Iam, ecce, nos peregrinationem facimus. We are making a pilgrimage. Quid nos videmus? Oh, mirabile. Oh, non est templum. Oh, mirabile est arra. Est arra. Arra Veneris. Ecce statua Veneris. Quaque malum aureum habet. Et est arra Veneris. Est arra. Remember the word ara? We saw it yesterday. Do y'all remember what it means? A-R-A. Arra. Est quod vides. It's what you see right there. Oh, no. Hoc rem. The whole thing there. Sic bene. Arra est. Me find it. It's difficile. Because I don't have that spotlight tool, it's hard to see. And then Guadalupe can't necessarily see me pointing out the thing. But it's the structure in the center on which all the vota sunt. Vota, remember, is the word for offerings. Vota. Vota sunt prope aram. So there are, there was that eagle. So you have all of these offerings placed around and on the altar. Yes, ma'am?
Why are they giving her wheat?
Why are they giving her wheat?
Yeah, there's wheat right there.
Seek?
Like, why her?
Fortasse quod habetis, because they haven't perhaps, or quod habent. Basically, you can also give pretty much whatever, right? So like, they're not necessarily, I think sometimes that they're going to have specific types of things that we'll see, like we've talked about. But then here it might just be because they have that to give, right? And the idea is that you give what you can. Non eheu. That would be fun. That would be a fun thing to do. So we've got some nice like cushions. There's some incense, perfumes. This is, again, you've got some urns and some pots that might have depictions of stories related to Venus. Some flowers and grapes and apples, as you mentioned. These things are flowering. Flores latine vocantur. Et ecce. Oh, mirabile. Sic. Musica canunt. Homines musicam canunt. They are. Quid, honk?
I don't know what it's called.
Oh, est tibia. Hoc, hic homo, tibia canet. Tibia is a word, like we use it for flute nowadays, but that would be, it's a double, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it is a double flute.
I heard that, I'm not sure if this is true, but it might be. I heard that Hermes invented the lyre.
Seek.
And he stole Apollo's sacred cows. And so, he ended up giving Apollo the lyre. He also invented that. I think I forget
Seek.
what it's called, but he made the lyre out of
Turtle shells, yeah.
And
Thank you. Est tibi. Seek. Yum. hic homo tibia conet, homo in laiwa, on the left, et situis, homo in dextra conet lyra, instrumentis canunt. They're playing on instruments. They're literally the word that I'm using. I'm saying homines musicam canunt. That means the people are singing music, and you sing music with an instrument. And so in this case, they're singing. This guy's singing with a flute. This guy is singing with a lyre. But you can also think of them as they're playing. Just it's not the same word that we'll use for playing, like ludit and so on. Now, hic homo est per egrinator. This is one of our pilgrims, the per egrinator. Per egrinator quid agit. What is he doing? Oh, see, he's praying. Precatur is the word that we'll use for praying. So, he homines non sunt peregrinatores. I don't think so. I don't think these guys are peregrinatores. These guys, I believe, and we're just going to go with it for now, unless I am told otherwise, these guys are priests. I think so. Yeah, I think that I can push them over and take their instruments. Let me see if I can do it. Let's go. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. I want to play your flute. Iam extrahe tibiam ubi est tibia tua, Cassandra. Non? She's just going to stand there? Eheu. Oh, mirabile ecce liram habet et non ludit, non canet, cane lyra. Oh, non volt canere liram. Eheu. It just came out of nowhere, too. Let's see if she can do the same thing with a flute. No? All right, I'll have to contact Ubisoft about that, right? Non? Non. Eheu. Et iam nulla musica est. Eheu. Said ecce. Non tantum, not only, non tantum ara veneris, said ecce. Templum veneris in Citerea. Necessa est celeriter ire. Ecce. Equo. Vehi. Velim. Iam. Nos. Iam. Imus ad templum veneris. Ad templum veneris. The templum is the temple. Et nos celeriter per urbem imus. We're going to quickly go through the town. Oh, Mane. Quis est? Est ne statua veneris? Mene me. Cuius statua? Whose statue? Oh, necessa est inspicere. We got to look closer. Oh, sic est nuntius deorum, the messenger of the gods. Est Mercurius. Ah, good. Jasper, tu dixistis Mercury? Yes. Bene. Iam. Ecce video Mercurii Galeam. I see his hat. Ecce video Mercurii caeduceum. Et, memento, non habet calceos alatas. He doesn't have the winged sandals for some reason. Bene. Iam. Ad templum. Iterum est statua veneris, mirabile. Multi statuae veneris in hoc insula. Et momento ecce sunt mercatores, merchants. Idi said, non hodie. Volo colloqui. I don't want to talk about them today. Iam. Oh, video templum, ecce templum. Haec est statua, hic est, hae sunt homines, he sunt homines. Homines statuae hominum, haha, they're statues of people. Bene. Ignoscite mihi homines. Oh, ignoscite mihi. Bene. Oh, ecce. Hoc est ubi peregrinatores. How do I get down? I have a hard time. So as it said there in the spot there, this is a pilgrimage site. Et ecce. Oh, seek. This looks like a ruin. There's a lot of ruins in the game, and so this is kind of how they look when we see them. So it might have been a remnant of an earlier structure that's no longer there. Et ecce, quid est? What's that? A forge or something. This is kind of on the same track, on the right track.
It's a stove.
Sic bene. It's an oven. Sic bene. So yeah, but good. Certainly, the other option would have been the forge. I'll show you what the forges look like on another day. There's a perfect place to go to see how they use bronze to make statues. I think that this is. I don't know what they would call the bread, but it is just like a. It's like a. It looks like unleavened bread, like it hasn't risen, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, this is just some food that has been prepared. You've got. You'll see randomly different spots. People they have the ovens. They have this tool that she uses right there to grab stuff out of the oven. It's it's called a bident, or I'm going to call it a bident. It's a two-pronged fork. But basically what you have here is you have a spot for the pilgrims to come and hang out and sleep right here, eat on their journey. Because we're almost to the top. Quoque sunt mercatores. I'm pretty sure that these are supposed to be like little shops, right? So I can go up here and I can buy wota, right? I can buy some offerings. So I can grab some flowers to take up to the shrine. And then it looks like there's another spot that you can hang out and wait before you go up. This person is working in the ovens. Salve iterum. Oh, bene. So here we got some of our peregrinatores otium. They are at leisure. They are resting. They're eating. That guy is drinking from one of those cups that I mentioned yesterday. So this is, again, a spot that the pilgrims can just kind of stop and hang out. I can go step on them. Oh, ignoscite mihi. Oh, mirabile. Oh, me pinatet.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, bene. I know I just stepped on you all, but let's hang out. Said, ecce, iterum, possum, flores, emere, possum, vota, emere. So here I can buy, emere, I can buy some offerings to take up to the temple.
Oh, so you can put stuff on the temple?
Zeke. Well, no, the character can't, but that is that spot down there that we were just at. That was a merchant at which you could, if it gave you the option to. So hic est templum veneris. Ba, 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 ba. I want you to basically remember this form. You probably recognize it from other studies of yours. But this is the classic templum that we will see versions of this kind of temple all over the Greek world. It's very easy to spot, and nothing else really looks like it. And so it's going to be one of the things that we'll be looking out for. Like if we go to a new island and you're like, oh, look, a temple, right? And then I'm like, I wonder whose temple it is. And then that starts our journey of exploration. The next spot we're going to go is down there, by the way, just in case you're curious. And yeah, ecce est navis. Oh, ecce navis est Atheniensis. It's an Athenian ship. Quomodo scio, how do I know? Ecce velum, the sail. in velo est bubo. Animal Athenae. That's the animal of Athena. It's an owl. It's hard to see from this perspective. I could get closer, but then we get too far away from our temple. So again, temples will be seen all throughout the Greek world, and they always, pretty much always, look like this. And just so that you know, like I was saying yesterday, we were in Olympia, and in Olympia, on the statue, on the pediment of the Temple of Zeus, you see this exact same stuff. These are the labors of Hercules again. And so they did not, like I was saying last time, they did not customize this area completely to Venus. Oh, it's okay. Est statua non veneris sed victoriae on Nike. Just like we saw in Zeus's hand yesterday at this temple in Olympia, that's a statue of Nike.
Oh, and that's a laurel.
Seek.
That wasn't just a random circle thing she was holding.
Exactly. It's the laurel crown, which is awarded to the victors. Now, one thing to note is that that is the exact same render of that statue that we saw from the Phidias sculpture in Olympia. It is very unlikely that that's what it would have looked like in real life. That would have been a convenience of making the game, right? You take one version of the statue and then you multiply it in all the places that you need it. They would have had distinct statues that were made by local sculptors that would have looked different from other depictions of those. So just keep that in mind as we're looking around at places. And now we're going to head on down here because there's this really awesome thing to see down here. I'm probably going to talk about this in English for now. Magister P wrote a book that we'll be able to use to help us talk about this stuff in Latin someday, but he has not released that book yet. So what I'm taking you down here is one of the, in my opinion, the more interesting places in the game, because it gets you a kind of closer look into one of the more expensive, illustrious items of the ancient world. No. All right. So here we are in a Murex dyeing facility. So let's start off here. Boop, sorry. All right. So this is the end product. Cloth dyed in purple. Now, you might have heard before that purple was a regal color, or that purple was an expensive color once upon a time, because it sure was, because of what I'm about to show you. So this color, purple, is called Phoenician purple, and it's only able to be derived from a very specific source. So here you see the things, the strips of linen, they are drying in the sun, and they are absorbing that dye, that purple dye, and they are being tinged in purple. But where does the purple come from? Where does the color come from? Well, you might have seen those vats over there that I was looking at. Yeah. So yeah, over here we got these purples here, right? And so here you see somebody who's actually pushing the stuff there into the, putting the linen into the vat and dyeing it, right? But again, I want to show you what all of the liquid is, and for that we need to look at this. These are shells, yes. Specifically, they are shells of a specific type of sea snail called a murex. Let me show you. They've got a containment facility over here where they will gather up the murex. And so the murex, like all snails, they emit like a mucousy type substance, right, when they move. And the murex ink, basically, or the what was it? The slime, for lack of a better term, once it is exposed to the air, it turns this lovely color of purple. So this kind of thing existed on Cytheria. It also existed in several islands in the Mediterranean on the Phoenician side, on the eastern part of the Mediterranean, but it didn't really exist anywhere else. So this was the reason that purple was so expensive, is because you could only get the color from this type of animal, and the only way that you could basically justify doing it is if you had enough of them that you could have giant piles of the shells worth of these murex that you could put into these vats to basically start the process of tinging purple. Oh yeah, there's some weirdness for sure with the rendering on these characters. But yeah, this is a very interesting part of the game for sure, and this is one of the kind of primary, besides being a spot for pilgrims to come to visit the Shrine of Venus, which would have been a big part of this island's economy, the other thing would have been the murex harvesting. You can see that like there's not a lot of green space, right? There's not a lot of lush fields to grow wheat or grapes, right? It doesn't look like there's any kind of large-scale economic activity. It looks like there's like maybe a little farm over there, perhaps, that's growing some food. But it does not look like this island is set up to do anything else but accommodate visitors to the Shrine of Venus and to the Temple of Venus, and then also this murex facility would be driving a lot of the island's economy.
Why don't they run out?
That's a good question. I think that they probably have some kind of way of gauging like how much that they need to use. But I could investigate that a little bit more, kind of how they're able to sustain that industry. We shall not go to the mainland today. But there's all sorts of great places to see around the Greek world. Next time, well, we're going to see each other on Tuesday, so we'll have to do something Mars related. Basically, what I'm wanting to do is to visit a different place that's associated with the god or goddess of the day, and then moving on from there, start visiting some of the other places. So we'll be able to, like, in that part, by going on those journeys and trying to find those gods and goddesses that we already have seen, we'll be able to review that stuff, but also learn more about them, but also learn a lot of the vocabulary, right? Like the word templum, we're going to see that word again. The word peregrinatio and peregrinator, we're going to see that again and again and again. We're going to go to Delos, which is a holy site for Apollo. We're going to go to Delphi, which is another holy site for Apollo. We'll probably go to some places that are holy sites for other gods, but like Apollo, like very popular. Yes, ma'am.
Since we're not going to be here on Saturday and Sunday, should we do like if we have a mass group today when we come back? Should we go to one of the places for Saturday?
Oh no, we're gonna do that. I'll work that into like so. For example, like yesterday we did Thursday. Today we did Friday. Next week we'll do Tuesday, and like next Thursday we'll do either a Wednesday or a Saturday, Sunday. So I'll fit those in on our other days. So we'll hit those all over the next, I guess, 5 more class days. And then, like I said, that'll get us prepared to do, like ultimately what I want to do with y'all is this project that I did with my classes 2 years ago, which was it was like a travel related project. And so it's something like a huge thing where you pick a place that you want to study, or you pick a thing that you want to study, like animals or a specific type of like economy or something like that, and you get to make like a travel brochure about that place based on what we study in the game. So in order to get us ready to do that project, we're going to have to just go explore places, see what there is to see, and in that process build up vocabulary and build up language skills. So I want to make this as much of a feature as we can of our daily class, doing a little bit. I don't think that we'll get 36 minutes every single day, but we do remember that part of that was me trying to figure out what I was doing. So again, hopefully I have a better and better idea of what our routine will be going forward. So let's pause and take a mask break, and I'm gonna and we can, when we come back, we'll talk about what we'll do elsewise. All right, so Guadalupe, are you able to stay on and be here when we get back? Oh, I asked her on the PlayStation. Guadalupe, are you able to